Hi, hello, how are you all doing? This is your host, Thomas O'Neill, with the Voynich Manuscript, and this is Folio 79V with the cross. I think this is the only cross in the Voynich Manuscript. And a nymph, what you think was holding the cross, she is not holding the cross. I examined it, and she looks like more like she's pushing it away or discarding the cross. If you notice the hand, it's and the eyes, it's like she's like pushing it out of her hands or pushing it away or throwing it away. Her hair is short, and there's more to this image than that meets the eye. She is a nymph, and what follows is an interpretation of a word. The second word, which is right here, the very first letter is not included in the interpretation, the translation. The next four letters read Clio. And Clio was the muse of history. And so Wilfrid Voynich became an atheist. And there's more to it in this manuscript. And he disregarded Christianity. And I don't think he liked Christianity, to be honest with you, from going through the manuscript. And he disregarded Christianity. He was an outright atheist. And Clio was the muse of history. So my interpretation of this muse is the muse of history disregarding the history of Christianity. Throwing the cross out is my interpretation of this muse. And Clio, he is using Clio as an interpretation of this imagery. Now, um, the text, I don't know if you've looked into the file of the phonetic tongue of the Voynich manuscript with my cipher, uh, but if you listen to it,
Pesr mic mionovem pope novem lio micoctonovem. Pionovem leo jo novem leso apesr meo eu peo octoer. Novem esso mulnovem jo novem lesr miocto pionovem pup octoeoesr p. Isr ipunovem ipuip oicipnovem p eo octoesr ipes aunovem kaun.
manuscript is it has a hiss tongue like a reptile hiss to it. So let's move forward and go into Clio. Clio has short hair. If you notice in the images of Clio, her hair is short. Um, in this image, her hair is short. 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 It's kind of wrapped in something on top of her hair. Um, her hair looks kind of short. Something I don't know if something's in her hair or not in the Voynich manuscript. Let's go to the interpretation of the actual word. If we go into Voynichnese, um, we get. I'll click on the word so it's highlighted. Here's the word. I'll highlight it and then I'll copy the word into my cipher. And if we go into my cipher, I'll clear it and I'll paste it. Old Corey, that's the boy Eva Voynich representation of it. And then I Clio Novum is the Latin representation of the translation from Eva Voynich glyphs to Eva translated to Latin. Now, I discarded the I, but it's like I Clio. This is Clio. Novum is, the Novum that I've been focusing on for all these, if you've listened along in my other videos. So Clio is the muse of history. And if we go into here again, I will show you the reading. In Greek mythology, Clio traditionally, but now more frequently, also spelled Clio with a K, or Clio with E-O, C-L-E-O, but it's spelled C-L-I-O, is the muse of history, or in a few mythological accounts, the muse of lyre playing. So she's traditionally known for short hair, holding a book. And so I thought you might have found that interesting, all you Voynicheros out there, Voynichnese people. Um, so now you know my interpretation. Oh, before I leave, I was going to go over why I think Wilfrid Voynich does not really follow Christianity. And here's a bolt going into the vagina of a woman, pointed at the vagina of a woman. And there's another imagery of a woman tied up in the Voynich manuscript. There she is. And also, since the Voynich manuscript is a kind of glossary of tongues, but it's the tongues of a reptile, hissing of tongues of a reptile, I will have to say this: the cult of Venus is very much present in the Voynich manuscript. And here it is right here. Wilfrid Voynich put in the word dar in Eva glyphs, which is the word neo in Latin, translated to entwine. And I think I read somewhere that Taurus horns entwine Venus, the planet, once every 8 years. But, well, Wilfrid Voynich made sure that this imagery of here is Venus. And Wilfrid went out of his way to include this. And how I know that is these eyes are pointing to a symbol that's south. And so I looked to the south and I clicked on the dar, and then it lit up in the Voynichnese that all 5 of these words for dar, which means neo, create the horns of Taurus that entwine, which is the neo word, Venus. And that's Folio 70 R2. But that's the cult of. So I've never done this, and I hope this doesn't time out, but it does